Hello everyone, Zerta back again with another Team Top Deck testing video. This time I'm gonna continue running some Izzet Blitz, still the budget version, this hasn't changed much. As a quick refresher, built a little fun troll deck I'll probably show off at some point there. Mostly for the memes, and it's better than it should be. Alright, so for those of you who are new here, here's our list. We are running, I believe, 22 lands. Is there any way to check that? There we go. So yeah, we're running 22 land, 4 Failed Passage, 1 Blood Crypt, 4 Temple, 4 Steam Vents, 1 Watery Grave, 4 Mountain, 4 Island. We're pretty evenly split on red-blue requirements, especially because of Crackling Drake. We definitely want to have access to that. The Black Splash is just for the back end of Discovery Dispersal. It doesn't really cost us too much. You can absolutely play the deck without those if you're on a little bit tighter of a budget. We're playing 3 Flame Sweep as our kind of answer to Luris and red deck wins. Playing 4 Phoenix because Phoenix is really, really good, apparently. 4 Crackling Drake, big flying threat, can close out games really quickly. Winged Words at 3, because if we have a threat down, it's just a 2-mana draw 2, and that's a fairly good rate. Otherwise, you could replace this with, what's the card? You could replace it with more Discovery Dispersal and just, get a little more aggressive, maybe play another Maximize or Raking Claws, although I wouldn't go too many more. Maybe play... just the deck's pretty customizable. This is kind of just a flex slot for Sprite Dragon because we are budget, and the only way to not play Rayleigh in the, expensive version is to be aggressive. It's not exactly worse. It's just the reason that we're doing this in this build over, say, playing Rayleigh. I do believe that if you want to play this in best of 3, you should have the Rayleighs in your sideboard and be able to board out of your Sprite Dragons and become a little bit more controlling in the post-board games. I think it really helps out with the sideboard plan being able to switch up your role in a matchup. For Cathartic Reunion, it's just a good way to pitch Arclight Phoenix and extra lands, as well as spells if you have a Crackling Drake out. Raking Claws can help you win out of nowhere if you have a big Sprite Dragon or Crackling Drake, kind of just a free roll. You could have it be the fourth Winged Words if you didn't if you don't really feel like you need it. For Thrill of Possibility, I think is better than Cathartic Reunion because you can cast it with only 1 other card in your hand, and you don't have to discard cards that you sometimes want to keep. For Opt, 1 Maximize Velocity to use with the Crackling Drake. It's a little bit of old tech from back in, Guilds days, but it's still highly relevant. And 4 Shock is the efficient removal spell that can help us bring back our Phoenixes. I think I might try and trade out a few of my 2-drops for some more 1-drops to help with the Phoenixes coming back, but I'm not really sure what they would be right now, so this is our list. And let's get into a few ranked matches. So things we're going to be looking for in an opening hand involve either a lot of card filtering or a threat. We would obviously prefer a threat with the card filtering, but we don't necessarily need to go digging for it too much if we have one or the other. Alright, so this is the kind of optimal hand, and on the play, I like this. I'm going to lead on a Mountain. I plan on playing Sprite Dragon on 2, but leaving up Shock in case I'm playing against something like a deck wins, and I just don't want to start taking damage from something I won't otherwise be able to kill until turn 3, if I want to continue to play my plan. So we have a Scorch Spitter there that represents 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. I'm going to go ahead and kill it now. I don't think we gain very much from waiting. We gain a counter on our creature, but let's be entirely honest, we are not the aggressor here. We need to both deploy pressure and keep them on the back foot, and keeping them on the back foot comes first. Ooh, Ginger Brute. Haven't seen that one in a while. Alright, so here I have an interesting decision to make. I can either cast Opt and hope to hit another land that would enter untapped to use with Temple, or I can cast, you know what, I can do that anyway with Discovery Dispersal. And this also lets me bin Drakes and get more information, so I'm going to lead on this. Like I said, bin Drakes. With the current setup, that would pump it to 4, 8, next turn. I don't think our creature is secure enough that I can keep that. Let's make another scry. Winged Words, it's not bad. Next turn we'd be able to go, but we already have our next turn set up to Thrill Away the Phoenix, which is kind of like drawing 3 cards instead of 2. And card advantage isn't what we're after. Need to keep that in mind in this kind of matchup. The thing we most want to draw here would either be another Opt, a Shock, or a Flame Sweep. Right, that's unfortunate. Now we really want that Flame Sweep. I'm going to crack this here. I already know that I'm going to want a Mountain. Just to help even out the mana for the Drake. And now I'm going to Thrill a Possibility away this Arclight Phoenix. And Cathartic Reunion away Arclight land. Alright, and we've set up for a fairly good turn next turn. We get to swing in for 9. Ooh, alright. I spoke too soon. Our opponent is going to win this race if it ends up like that. Only Defender. Because another land would be 9 themselves, which would be lethal. So let's start on an Opt. No, there's no reason to keep that. Second Opt. Still looking for that Flame Sweep. A Shock would also be acceptable. Cathartic Reunion, not what we're looking for. Although that Cathartic Reunion kind of is. So let's see. Is there anything that would make me want to keep the Steam Vents up? They have a Shock. No. Because that just puts me to dead to so much. I think my best bet is to hold them off with the Phoenixes for a turn on 1, potentially 2 haste creatures and see where that leaves me. And I found the Flame Sweep. Hopefully I am alive next turn for it to matter. That doesn't help. So next turn, we can definitely win. 4 Phoenixes back, probably not too much. Creature with haste I can keep. Right, I'm only going to attack with 1, so that I can still win through a single removal spell. And to help soften up their life total for next turn if I lose my Phoenixes and trades here. Don't know if they have something to potentially, like if they have the land to pump. Alright. Alright. And we got there. So we're going to deploy our Drake, leaving open a red. And we are going to maximize that Drake. And as you can see, we played around Shock on a Phoenix, pinging us for more. Shock on a Phoenix does not save them now, so I'm just attacking with all. They don't have the mana to gain life with Gingerbread either, which is something to remember against them, is that they are capable of gaining life off of a Gingerbread. Not that it, saved them there, but just things to keep an eye out for if, say, that was a little bit closer. It pays to be aware when you don't need to be, so that you don't become unaware when you should be. It's just good to stay in the habit of always being aware of everything your opponent is able to do, so that you don't miss something on a critical turn as often. Magic is a game about making less mistakes, and the more you can do to avoid that, the better off you'll be. So this hand, it's got a lot of dig, meaning it's a good Phoenix hand if I find them early off of the dispersals, and it's going to be a good Drake hand. Unless I draw a Sprite Dragon, it won't be the best, but I think I'll keep this because of the power of dig. I do want more land. And Island, their Garuda deck. I should have paid attention to that. Still not used to checking for mulligans. I really need to. That was obviously a mistake. I'm still fairly certain I would have kept this hand, though. This hand, I'm just going to go looking for a Drake. That will not be fast enough. Will it? Let's see, I play it next turn. Turn after, no. Then they're already on Garuda. I need a Drake here. Because if I play the Drake, it really slows down their ability to... Oh, is this a... Have they evolved? Are they playing a more controlling game now? Gonna lead on my discovery, play the land after. I don't want those. Just want to find my Drake for turn 4. Do not need. So my opponent has missed on land drop, making me really wish I'd been able to capitalize with that Sprite Dragon, but you can't really bank on that, obviously. I think I'm going to fire off a Cathartic Reunion, because I have the ability to fire off another later, and I don't want to shuffle away what I've scryed to the bottom, and I don't have any need to shock myself. I already have really good mana, so I'm getting rid of those. There's the Drake. Wish we had it this turn, but not much we can do about it. Hit them for 1 with Sprite Dragon. Next turn, unless we draw a Phoenix, I'm fairly set on the Crackling Drake. Yep. And so here we are. Let's see, what is on the bottom? Anything I want to draw now? Just Shock. Don't exactly want to draw Shock, do I? No. So we're dropping the Drake. Drawing a Phoenix. Yeah, I want at least 1 more land for next turn. And I could draw the Shock now. Alright, opponent. Ooh. That's not something that was on my radar. Alright, we're in trouble. Zerta has evolved. And I'm gonna start looking up deck lists. Because those early builds of Garuda were um, barely beatable. Uh, so I should have expected that it would have eventually. I just wasn't sure if it already had. And it has. Did I just play land? Nope. Alright, excellent. So here I'm going to discard Phoenix and maximize. We're going to hope to be able to maximize a Drake later. Like that one. We're going to then cast another Cathartic, really hoping to hit a 1 or a 2 drop. I don't want to use... I can't use that maximize on their creature anyway, so... I don't need the Phoenix back this turn, actually. I don't need to play that, so I think I'm just going to refuel with a Winged Words here. I shouldn't have discarded that maximize. It would have given me a surprise. I was trying to maximize card economy, not really paying attention again, so there's another thing you should try and avoid. I don't need another looter because this hand is going to change drastically just with one Cathartic Reunion. Alright, opponent. Let's see if you make the mistake they all used to. Do you take my flyer, or do you take another swing? Alright. Going again. Zoni. Nice. Glad those don't have reach. How big are these? 12? Uh-oh, don't gain life. Actually, maybe do. Alright, I think they're dead. We got there. Let's see. Drake. Play him out. Maximize Drake. Does not have reach. Discard Cathartic for maximum damage. And just because I really want to do a lot here, 18 double striking. Alright. So that's where, if they had hit a clone, obviously I think they should have gone again. But I think if you were playing that deck against Drakes, especially if you see a maximize, you cannot keep milling them. Try and take their Phoenix, use it as a blocker, because you can take so much damage out of nowhere. You just let them, or let us, continue to fuel our graveyard. So to all those Garuda players out there, we don't play that many creatures, so if you hit one of our flyers, you're gonna want it as a blocker. And if you see a maximize, that means you could be dead if you if we have grid, it's probably game over at that point. Alright, so here, I'm looking for a looter. I have 8 in the deck. I could also take a Sprite Dragon and then use Maximize to discard one of the Phoenixes, so I like this a little. Not a lot, it's not great. It is missing something, but we do have a way to start digging for it. And we also have time. Alright, that's fine. I would have preferred Cathartic, obviously, but I will take a discard for one of them. We'll probably find another before too long. We'll be doing it in our main phase, just to avoid kind of blue nonsense. Or, I'm going to pass. I'm pretty sure no deck that plays Izzet plays counterspells. Season of Growth, Resolve. So I'm playing against auras. Oh, there's that Cathartic I talked about. Kind of scares me, actually. So here what I'm going to do is play the Cathartic, discard Arclight, and I'll let them see the Maximize, because I'm not going to need it for a while. And it'll give me a Drake outlet. Nice. And then I'll play a mountain and pass the turn holding up shock. Obviously, I'd prefer to not have to use it because it puts me closer to bringing back those phoenixes. But I'm not about to... Ooh. Alright. I was about to say I'm not about to just straight up lose to what my opponent's got going on there. Alright. That needs to go soon. So I'm debating here. So I could bring back the phoenixes. I do not think it is worth it. I'm going to get that off the battlefield as soon as I can. I'm gonna get a mountain here. Because of... Actually, I should have gotten an island, because this is only this turn I'm gonna need my mana like this. Let's see. What could they have that would flash hurt me? Nothing I could think of, so I'm gonna try and get one of their auras. That's right. Iceland. That alone. Once again, people, read the cards. That card has text. Oof. Alright, so we'll get to kill one of them. Oh, this is excellent, actually. That went about as well as we could possibly hoped. And I'm going to take out the champion. Alright, so here, let's see. Lead on. I think we're going to just play Drake this turn. It's a very big threat that our opponent's going to need to deal with. And of course it has haste. Next turn we'll use the passage to go ahead and fetch up an island. Playing this so that I actually have access to black mana should I need it at some point in this game. This can become a huge problem though, if they find a way to give it flying or reach with one of their auras. Then we're in a bad spot because it'll gain them a lot of life and be really hard to swim through. However, next turn we should have a considerable amount of damage if we keep our Drake alive. I thought that also gained them life. Right. Considerably less damage. Still, we're not in a bad spot yet. This doesn't have lifelink yet. Found an island. Gonna lead on Opt in case I find a, suppose that finding a flyer doesn't truly work. But still leading on Opt. Get the most information as to what I'm gonna have access to. I think I'm gonna keep the shock so that they won't be able to use this to get through creatures when I do eventually need to block. Play a second Opt. Alright, I like that. This here is a way to deal with that, or that. It'll give them the choice though, and I don't like giving them the choice on which one. Regardless, it's still a good spell to be able to, you know, get the ball rolling with card draw. Now I'm going to Winged Words, I'm going to get back to my Phoenixes. I'm going to go ahead and shock now. I don't need them gaining any life. There we go, 2 Phoenix. So here I think I hit them with both because I have an opportunity to kill them next turn with the shock in my hand. So if they don't gain any life here and deal, I straight up do not know what that does.
All responsible for the damage to Destiny. My light banishes you from this world.
Alright. That's pretty cool, actually. So, here, no matter which mode I use, this will... No, it's not true. So now, because they have this, I can't use the dispersal in the way I was planning. So I'm going to Discovery first and see if I can hit a Phoenix and, Alright. I definitely like that Cathartic Reunion here. Turning some chaff into not chaff. Cathartic. Well, hopefully into not chaff. That does have reach, which is something that you should keep in mind as well. Let's see, any reason to play the mountain? No matter what, I'm playing out the Sprite Dragon here. So let's see, if they play any aura that enchants this, I would be dead if I swung with the Phoenix. I'd rather swing with the Sprite Dragon, but I don't get the Phoenix back. There's no point to swing with the Sprite, and... Alright, so I'm going to swing with the Phoenix only. And, just hope that I am not forced to block with the Sprite Dragon. There we go. I'm probably dead anyway, but I'm going to keep my options open. Not so much open as a chance to win available. Alright, so we would appear to have been dead, and we are anyway. So here we're going to concede. That was something I was considering, but I don't think my chances of winning are going to be very good if I just let my opponent kill both of my creatures that turn, especially when they're exiling the Phoenix. So it was a calculated risk. I'll open that pack at the end of today's video. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hey, maybe even you share if you think it's content your friends would enjoy. If not, be sure to block me on YouTube. That is also an option. Not that it actually does anything, but I mean, it's there. Alright, opponent is out of order. Hopefully that means we get a free win, right? First to go. Again, I'm getting lucky on those today. So this is a keep. I'm just trying to figure out my sequencing here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Temple, Island, Sprite Dragon, Winged Blitz, unless we draw something. I was considering if there was... Alright, well, like I said, unless we draw something. And we have, so we might be playing Cathartic Reunion on turn 3 instead. That is a Yorion deck. To me, that means we have to win very quickly. So I think I'll be leading on Winged Words after all, because it maximizes our chances of drawing another Phoenix before we cast Cathartic. Of course, we would also like to just draw another Phoenix this draw step and completely remove that part of the equation. But alas. Yeah, so I'm going to lead on the Winged Words. Maximize our chance to hit more Phoenixes. Don't let them know we have them. On the other hand, counterspells are a possibility that I think trumps that. So I'm going to go ahead and discard Arclight, Cathartic, because it's fairly risky. There we go. So we're definitely attacking. And I'd say I'll drop the Steam Vents for now. Minimize our chance of having to shock in case they have some strange aggressive plan, other than the Yorion Charming Prince Agent of Treachery for the late game. where you get to keep blinking your Yorion and your team every turn. It's kind of like the old Ghost Away deck from Modern like that, but, you know, for free. Alright, so here I'm going to go double Strike Dragon when they bounce this one. So that I'll get the Teferi off the board and be able to redeploy with my power for next turn fairly quickly. The haste on this card is quite good. It could have used, you know, just -1 ability, minus the haste, or minus the flying, or minus the counters instead of prowess, but it has it all, so this card is quite good. Ooh, fires. I should have known when I saw the Teferi and the 4th color. Now, I don't think it changes my play, it just means that these creatures are about to get wrathed, I believe. Whereas before it was more likely to be a planeswalker they were going to deploy that would kill one of my dragons, and I'd potentially get, you know, to hit one of them back. There we go. Alright, so here, I'm not sure if I'd rather try and build up and hit a... No, I'm not good enough. I don't have enough cards built up yet to try and dig for the 1-of, so I'm just going to Crackling and use it to dig a little. Play the tapped Blood Crypt as I've drawn the Discovery Dispersal. Might be able to bounce their fires if they won't do anything right now. Oof, this is going to be really good. They're going to play 2 cards, or play a card, play Yorion, blink their fires out, and then deploy another card with their mana. So they'll get to triple spell for a turn, even with fires. Alright, that is really good. Yeah, we do have troubles against the Fires deck. The only deck I have put together right now is my, and I use air quotes here when I say budget rec deck. The only reason it's budget is I don't have all of the mythics. But so it's my budget, not true budget. And what I tell you, here we are in quite.
Mind, body, and soul must be trained in harmony.
That's why I like Yorion is the companion for fires the most. It gives you the most power. And again, I don't think they need the power, so maybe Karuga is the best companion for it. All I know is you should be playing a companion at least when you're playing your fires deck. Alright, so here what do we want to do? We don't want to bounce the Elspeth with the Discovery Dispersal. So I'm going to lead on Discovery, as it'll give me the most information. Alright, I like that. Next we're going to up in case it's a Phoenix on top. No, but I also like that more than trying to draw the next one, because now if there's a Phoenix in the top 2, we get it as well. There was not. I don't want that thrill. Shock would mean... It doesn't quite team up, so I'm going to bin it as well. Hope to draw another Drake. No? Alright. That's right, I was supposed to keep, because I thought I'd already played my land. I'd have been able to swing in this turn and deal with their Yorion instead of having to wait for next turn. Especially when this turn I'm under Narset clock. They're not clock, but sorry, the Elspeth tax. There we go. Ooh, I was worried about them getting it back the next turn. They're gonna their Yorion? Yep. Blink Yorion, play Yorion, blink their Teferi, their Elspeth, and their Nars. They might not blink Narset. So here I'm pretty sure we're just dead, but I'll keep going for one more turn to see what we draw. This is really bad for us, though. They're going to exile one of our phoenixes. They're going to reset all of their walkers. They're going to get one more spell. Oh, and another Elspeth Conquers. So I can't imagine any sequence of draws that makes us win this at this point, um, other than those that involve misplays from my opponent. And that'd be one part of the equation. Now just the misplays, right? A little premature there, but maybe that means they'll be getting cocky. Let's see. Do I play a land? Yes, make sure it's fabled passage. Grab an island. Next turn, we'll discard one of our mountains to thrill. If we, have the mana. Yep. And they're going to get to keep doing that for the rest of the game. That is an absurdly powerful interaction. Fires gets the triple spell a turn. Although I guess they do pay mana for one of them, so it's fair and balanced. Alright. Here's the arrow. Let's see if they continue to do the blink shenanigans. If so, oh, it means they definitely have a Wrath. Let's check my spell count. Spell count is 8. Alright, so we do have a possibility. They won't be able to Wrath if they continue on like this. They're going to get 2 cards back next turn. I don't think we mind. As long as they continue to tap out some of their threats. And Thrill of Possibility. Discard a mountain. There we go. Opponent is unable to do anything unless they want to attack their Omen. Alright. Perhaps I should have waited till... No, I was about to say until their turn. I forgot about the Defer when I was saying that. There is a reason I was doing things on my turn. Alright, so if they blink their Yori on this turn with something, we're in really bad shape. Not quite dead yet. There we go. That's 15. Does that have a pump? Yep. Do they do it? Do they see it? They do. And that is Xaxes. They had out there was to draw or Drake. Draw into the what's it called? The maximize the Drake, double strike the Drake, and hope that that was enough damage. To do that, I probably should have discarded instead of a land one of my spells there to increase the power. Alright, and we're moving into our last game of the video. And we will see what awaits us. And please comment below if you would like to see some of my other decks next time. This is going to, until further notice, be the main deck I'm playing on this channel. Okay, so here we have the Drake. The Maximize is a little early in the game. We have some interaction and we have some filtering, so I like this. And we're once again going first. What did I do today? Who did I make happy? Let's see. Yep, that's something I should have been aware of before the game started. I don't think it changes me keeping this hand. And let's go ahead and pass turn here. My plan currently is to drill away the maximized velocity and see what we can do from there. Plan has changed. I don't like letting that thing stick around. It grows fairly out of hand and becomes a removal spell for any of our creatures. Holding on for the thrill isn't too much either, or too much of a problem either. If we draw a Phoenix or something. What'd I say? Yeah, I could change the lands I play this turn. There we go. It didn't change lands I play this turn, but it's definitely helped us figure out our game plan next turn. There's the cat. There's a Priest of the Forgotten Gods. So I'm going to lead on Opt here, I believe. And look for another Phoenix or a land. I'm also, I suppose, looking for a Flame Sweep here. Alright, there's land. Let's Cathartic, ditch Phoenix, and if we draw Phoenix, I kind of want the Maximize in the yard, but I also don't want to be forced to use it from the yard, so I'm going to get rid of one of our Drakes here. And I will haste their cat. You ever seen a cat maximum velocity? Ah. I guess we're going to have to do the Priest then. Alright, so I get punished, but it could always be worse there. Don't mind hasting their Priest because, well, it's not going to be able to use the ability anyway. We only have one cat in the yard. We get 2 Phoenixes. And attack in the sky, above where their cat can forever block. Let me get back the cat. If we draw a land next turn, would we rather Drake? I don't think so. Whisper Squad. So next turn, I'm thinking we're going to be doing Sprite Dragon Converts. I don't think we're likely to... Well, unless we draw... We'll wait and see till next turn, because there are definitely things that change our plan here. Most notably, Flame Sweep. A land drop doesn't do too much here. I'm fine with that. Goodbye, Phoenix. Heads up play from the opponent, sacking the cat while they have an extra food. They're going to use that mana, I imagine, for another Whisper Squad. Ooh, another Priest. That one is not good for us. Oh. You can't be unlucky if you always have it. I'm going to wait for my opponent's turn here, I think. Because if I do it here, yeah, I clear the board. I prevent the Priest activations and all that. But I don't hit as many creatures as I would like. Alright, that's fine. Of course, if they also bring the cat this turn, I'm 100% going to Flame Sweep because I'll strand it without needing to sacrifice another creature. No, I don't think I will. That's just me being greedy and wanting them to sack another creature. Let's see. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, I believe. We're in no true danger right now. This being an instant is very good for us. Let's see. 2 damage won't change this. And extra priest mana can really end up building out their board, which is ironically good for us right now. Because if they start building up, they're probably going to use some cards from their hand, or what we really want to happen is using their Luris. If they go to claim the firstborn, their priest, I think we're going to, and have the creatures for it, I think we're going to flame sweep in response though. That is a little bit too much damage. That is quite a good ability for a aristocrat's deck. There we go, down to 4. Now, I am aware this was a very greedy play on my end. Alright. Do believe, however, that it was worth it. Oof. Wished I hadn't drawn the Croak, so that might change what they play. Or no, was that discarded? Alright. And we are going to need to be careful with our Sprite Dragons from here on out. So that is something to keep in mind. Going to sack. So we're at a virtual 2 here. If they have the Claim the Firstborn, we are in fact dead. However, next turn we should have the ability. Let's see. I'm pretty sure attacking here is a horrible decision. Because then I go down to, yeah, so no attacks. If they have a Dread Horde, we lose. I suppose they do have a Dread Horde. Alright, that was on me. I'll give you one bonus game here with my surprise deck. It's built basically just as kind of a fun troll deck to see if I can build around a concept of Luris as a card advantage engine for a control deck. My big problem is I don't have a big spell top end that I can get into. But as you can see, it's not really your typical Luris build here. So we're going to take that one out for a spin. And see if it'll behave on camera. What I would really need from this deck would be some kind of a way to deal with fires. Otherwise, I think it's actually not the worst. It's just that against fires, you're really left out in the cold there. All right, I'll keep this 7. Once again on the play, although I definitely don't deserve to be. Plan on turn 2 Yark Svenlurker. I'm against a Murray the Collector. I have no idea what they might be on. Maybe they're on also lift the deck. Next turn we'll drop a Scrabbling Claws. Swamp. I'm not sure what I'm digging for yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and play my spells out like so. This is a really neat little card advantage engine to have going with Lurrus. You get to draw a card every turn. Get another swamp. Play a Yorick's. And let's see what gets exiled. Apex. I don't like that. Alright, so I guess I want... No. I want some bigger spells, potentially. Something higher impact. Not be able to get through that. Ooh, Parcel Beast. It's a really good thing to put on top of an Arboreal Grazer. Just sits there as a really good blocker that lets you draw cards every turn after it's done its thing. And it's pretty cheap to mutate onto. Here to use its mutate. Waiting for my opponent to figure out exactly what's going on here. There we go. And my turn. That is one of our bigger spells. So here we're going to deploy Kroxa, then Fenlurker. Actually, I think we're going to do that in the exact opposite order. To play Fenlurker. Alright. Deploy Kroxa. And we will exile whatever. And I guess we got the game. Well, I don't think we'd won quite yet. We were going to, however, have Lurrus Kroxa every turn, which would have been fairly good. But not sure it was win-worthy when they get to draw a card every turn. Alright, and here we go. Let's see what Korea has in store for us. So, if this were a draft, none of this has cycling. Oh wait, no it does. Alright, let's see. Creature mutates, return to a creature card, cover my cost 3 less creature to the battlefield. That's not bad. I'd heavily consider that. And Slitherwisp. It's a card I was wanting because I am quite a big fan of flash decks. I don't think they're great, I just enjoy playing them. Alright, so tell me down in the comments below what you would like to see next time. I have the Gates deck, a fairly bad version of the cycling deck that will be the good version by the time we play it, Black-White Aristocats, the very all-in Cat Oven version, another Izzet video, a Teamer Rec video, or a video with a deck that really shouldn't have won any game it's ever played. And thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.